Sleek, fast, and refined are the three words I use to describe this vehicle. Oscar here with Go Auto, and next to me is the 2026 Porsche Macan here inside the Go Garage. It's a vehicle designed for people who love to drive, but who also have other responsibilities, whether that's work, family, even a couple car seats in the back. Now let's start with styling, because that's often the first make or break when it comes to vehicles. And I'm not going to tell you how you feel, but I can tell you this vehicle is going to make your coworkers jealous. It's got a sculpted hood which wraps around your LED matrix headlights, and you've got the classic Porsche crest in the center. Now from front on, you'll also notice the wide stance this vehicle has. That adds to its visual appeal, but it also leads to a more stable drive. So you can have a ton of fun on twisty roads. And also if you're experiencing strong crosswinds on the highway, it's gonna mean that it doesn't feel like your vehicle's pulling away from you. Overall, this is a front end that will turn heads at stoplights, but it also hides some great features like adaptive cruise, forward collision, and auto brake. So yeah, it's a cool looking design. It's also a smart one. Now, the side profile of this car truly has some sporty design with low center of gravity and near 50-50 weight distribution. That's gonna lead to less rocking when both accelerating and braking. If you're not into the sporty side of things, you'll be happy to know that all these cues means this vehicle is more aerodynamic, which leads to better fuel economy, and it's also more planted in our winters. So instead of feeling like you're floating on top of the snow, it's gonna keep itself grounded, like an athlete digging their feet in before the start of a run. Now the rear of this vehicle is pure Porsche styling. You get a full width light bar with your signal lights integrated into it. They've also designed it to a minimum though, just letting the car speak for itself. For example, instead of having a weird latch or a button exposed, they've put the trunk release button here on the wiper. That way it also won't get dirty hiding in lower sections like on some other vehicles. And with the door open, you can see you get a decent amount of space back here with a nice low opening, which means you don't have to throw your back out just loading up your trunk. You got a good amount of space for golf clubs or hockey bags for your men's league or your kids' sports. Another nice touch is this rubber lining. So if you like to go hiking or if you have a dog that likes to dig around in the dirt, you can just remove this lining, spray it off without getting the carpet underneath dirty. My favorite feature though has to be the actual liftgate. You can program the height of it exactly. So if you happen to have a low ceiling at the parquet that you work, or if you're on the shorter side, you can change the height of this so it's easier to reach and you don't have to worry about damaging it. Now, one of the most impressive parts of these rear seats are actually the doors. They open to almost 90 degrees. So that means if you're loading in a car seat, you don't have to worry about bumping it on the interior of the door and damaging it. I have to say, these car seat anchor points are some of the most accessible. Installing the base was an absolute breeze. Now, once you're back here, yeah, maybe it's a bit tighter than some of its competitors, but at 6 feet tall, with this seat in its regular position, I'm still sitting quite comfortably. The seats themselves are firm, but they're nicely bolstered, so your kids won't get restless even on longer drives. The middle folds down to reveal your cup holders, and the center console here has your heated seat buttons, your temperature controls, and below that, 2 USB-C ports, so everyone's comfortable on those long road trips. Now, the first thing you think when you jump in the front is, let's go driving. The seats can be positioned perfectly, and the steering wheel is so comfortable to hold on to. It really encourages a 9-3 hold rather than that one hand on top. Behind it are these metal paddle shifters in case you want to change gears yourself. And the buttons on the steering wheel have this sort of floating look to them. You got media controls on the left, driver display on the right. Now for the driver display, you have an analog speedometer on the left, an analog tachometer in the middle. Below that is a digital speedometer. And I love this look. It just feels classy and sporty. On the right, you do have a small screen. That's where you can see media, navigation, and a ton of vehicle information. Now, the main infotainment system in this car is fantastic. It's not the latest from Porsche like you get in the Cayenne, but I'd argue that's up to just layout preference because this system does not feel outdated in any way. You have a shortcut menu on the left. You get everything from navigation, media, to settings. And if you want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in this car, you can do so wirelessly. However, it shows up half-sized on the screen, so that does make the icons a little small. And below that is a gloss black screen, which houses all your climate controls. Now, in previous generations, this was all buttons, had kind of a keyboard look to it, and this is updated now, and it looks great when it's clean. So if you're a stickler like me, make sure you have a microfiber cloth in the car with you. On the left and right are your temperature and fan speed controls, as well as heated, ventilated seats. And on top is your air conditioning and defrost. I love that this isn't in the infotainment, and it also looks really cool because when the car's off, it's like there's no buttons at all. Between all that is your drive selector, which is fairly standard, park, reverse, neutral drive. If you want to go into manual mode, you press the M button on the steering wheel and you use these metal paddles, not the gear selector. If you want to have different drive options though, there's plenty to choose from. You got sport, off-road. You can also change the traction control and the suspension stiffness, which is great when you want to have a bit extra fun on that certain part of the drive to work. Below that are 2 cup holders and a little storage pocket, perfect for your wallet or your phone. The center console, it isn't the largest, but it does house your wireless charger, and the lid of it actually slides forward, so it makes the armrest a bit more comfortable when you're driving. Another neat note, if you take your key out of your pocket while you're driving, you can actually slip it between the cup holder hinges and it holds it perfectly so it doesn't rattle around while you drive. The key is also in the shape of a vehicle, which I think is really cool. You handle the vehicle key a lot, so it's nice that Porsche put thought into its design. The 2026 Porsche Macan is an SUV for people who want something that can handle kids, weekend getaway cargo, while still being able to make you smile while you drive to work. To experience an SUV that actually delivers a thrilling ride, visit goauto.ca or any of their Porsche Center dealerships.